Hey everybody, this is Perch. A quick handful of news kind of across the board with a few things. Kicking it right off, Tini Howard, who's been writing Excalibur and X-Corp, and a number of other things. She has been a Marvel exclusive for a few years, since 2019, I believe. And she is officially, her exclusive has come to an end. And she is going to be writing stories for Batman Urban Legends, and apparently it has more to come. So there will, in theory, be some additional work. Now, Tini Howard is part of Jonathan Hickman's Substack deal, and Jonathan Hickman and Tini Howard have been on good terms. They've been working colleagues for some time. There was this narrative, this comment that Marvel forced Tini on Hickman, but the both before any of this stuff went down with Hickman on the X-Men and everything else, there was a connection between the two. Hickman viewed Tini as one of his most trusted kind of allies, and you know, he's taking her to Substack. So I think that story has been at this point thoroughly debunked, but you know, it is what it is. But Tini Howard going to DC, doing more work. The story here maybe is less about Tini. And by the way, she is definitely stating that she is continuing to do work on Krakoa, will continue to write Excalibur, and that there, you know, quote unquote, no plans to change any of that. However, you do wonder a little bit if Hickman is winding some of his time down. His recent newsletters have certainly made it sound like his Inferno may be the last thing he does there before going all in on Substack, or maybe, you know, he's trolling the audience. He's been known to do that as well. But with a lot of these agreements, with the whole Substack deals, with some of these exclusivities ending both at DC and Marvel, and kind of people shifting around, I think you can't take anything for granted. So even if people say, yeah, I'm staying on something, maybe not. Yeah, I mean, and this is not necessarily new news. Tom King, when he was on Batman, talked about having more stories to tell. That wound up getting cut short. Same kind of thing happened with Bendis. So, I mean, you know, writers have been playing coy with some of this stuff for quite a while. And so the future of Tini, we'll see. But she is going to be writing some things for Batman. Turns out Batman, as a title, also is needing a writer. With Tinian leaving, the question mark is who takes over Batman. So how about Tini Howard? Huh? Maybe Tini could be the answer. I'm sure people would absolutely love that. But speaking of Batman, if you're enjoying Fear State right now, guess what? DC has announced a 2022 new Batman event, Shadows of the Bat. And basically, you know, Batman is, the storyline here is Batman is leaving Gotham. And so the storyline of Gotham becomes that his wards, his various people in his group, will take over, kind of protecting Gotham, and that one of the big fallouts is Batman being absent from his hometown, and the other heroes have to take over and help. So anyway, the Batman-shaped hole is how they're describing it. How will, I mean, and come on, at this point you're just asking for comedy. The solicitation says that you know, how will Batman's allies fill the Batman-shaped hole? And I mean, do I need to make the jokes at this point? Anyway, Shadows of the Bat is likely to be the big event following Tinian's absence. So this is Tinian's leaving, and so is Batman. And we'll get to see Batman, I don't know, wandering around other cities, or Batman, the character, just being kind of deprioritized for a while, walking away. And we get to see his allies and others try and pick up the slack. So that appears to be what we're in for with Gotham. So 2022 will be a Batman event where Batman is leaving, and a new day of Gotham where there is no Batman. So that's a bold way to actually sell a Batman event. Is that hey, Batman is we have a big Bat event in 2022, and it won't have Batman. By the way, we're going to do a Batman movie starring Batman, but in the comics, Batman won't be in Batman. Sure, I mean, why not? It's funny. There was this other little bit of news about the Penguin. There's a Penguin kind of 80th anniversary comic. I mean, if DC can squeeze another $9.99 issue out of it, I'm sure they will. But Danny DeVito, who of course played the Penguin in the second Batman movie by Tim Burton, will be writing a story of the Penguin. And that's kind of a, that's some interesting. Why not, right? That's kind of fun. Overall, it's been a crazy week. It's absolutely been a crazy week in comics with all the Substack announcements, more to come, a higher focus on pay. I mean, one thing that this week, if you can look back at in summary, is that in part because of the advance that Substack are giving comic creators, it's put more of a focus on, hey, what are comic creators getting paid? There are some fairly large articles out there about how Disney pays and that kind of this this pittance of $5,000 if the character gets taken into Hollywood is nothing compared to the billions of dollars that they play. It is an interesting time in comics, and you're seeing a lot of angst. I think the rest of August and some of September. I mean, the amount of salt that you saw from comic creators who didn't get the Substack advance was pretty extreme. Alex DeCampi posted a number of things about how Substack is anti-trans and just a number of just very aggressive comments about people who support it are wrong. And I mean, kind of made fun of, I think it was Chip Zdarsky and Scott Snyder who made the comments about donating some of their money. I think Zdarsky was going to donate some of his money. Snyder talked about, he has concerns about some of Substack's practices and was going to kind of work from inside. And that led to quite a lot of mocking, I think, from a number of people in, outside of who didn't get the Substack deal about, sure, you're going to fix it from the inside, while you're collecting that check, and kind of noting that in general, people are starting to draw more of a focus to the fact that the advance that Substack's giving you is good, but the royalty that you get off the comic is, the newsletter is not amazing, especially if you have to pay a team out of it. And that it basically sets up a situation where the people who have the special deals will do well, and the people who do not have the special deals will basically live in poverty. So anyway, I expect there to be a big boiling over of kind of feelings, and it will be nice because for the last several years we've seen the comics establishment versus the comics gate war going on, and now it's like that the end of The Hobbit, where like multiple other armies join the mix, and suddenly there's a brawl in all directions. So I mean, that'll be some good entertainment. I mean, why not? Hey, in a completely lighter side, but my daughter told me I have to mention it because it's probably what she's most interested in the world of comics right now. Viz is launching or basically going to bring the Animal Crossing graphic novel from the manga over to the U.S. and they're going to be publishing this this Animal Crossing story. I struggle, like, what do you do with this story? The story I would do for Animal Crossing is that you got these human characters who come to an island, and at first it's all cheerful. They set up a house and everything else. And then the humans get hungry, and so they start to eat all the animals, starting with that Tom Nook asshole who is just constantly trying. I mean, why are you letting this raccoon hold this debt over your head when you could just roast him and then have some nice raccoon shish kebabs on the beach? That would be the manga I would write. But anyway, Viz does have this Animal Crossing story coming out, which I'm sure everybody can enjoy. So you can look for that. When do we have a date for that? It's coming soon. I don't know. Anyway, it's coming soon this year. So there you go. So graphic novels, Animal Crossing, New Horizons. You can read that comic book. If you weren't bored enough by the game through the pandemic, like apparently my daughter, then absolutely you've got a manga to help fill that Animal Crossing void you didn't know you had. So let me know what you think of all this news. Tini Howard starting to write some things for DC, a Batman event of No Batman in Gotham. always great. And you know what they need? They need a Captain America event where Captain America loses confidence in America and questions his ideals. That's another one they should go back to, because we haven't seen a Batman story where Batman is taken off the board and has to leave Gotham for a period of time. I mean, they've never done that before. Yeah. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Like and subscribe as always, and thanks for listening.